Welcome everybody to another virtual workshop presented to you by the Mesquite Arts Council. My name is Erica Guajardo and I'll be your host and instructor today. What are we creating, you ask? Well, of course, patriotic hats. These hats will make a big statement at your family gathering this year for 4th of July. So let me show you how to create one. It only takes a couple of steps and a few materials that you can probably find around the house. So let's get started.
When you first start to create your patriotic hat, you'll need some form of device to make a mark. I'm going to use a permanent marker. This could be a pencil, pen, or even just your paint. And basically what we're going to do is make a line almost halfway that's a little bit bowed or curved when drawing it. This is going to allow the hat to form around your head in a straight pattern. Once we've done that, you're going to want to grab your scissors. These are ambidextrous scissors, so you could use them for both left and right. I got these particular pair of scissors in New York and Chinatown, so you may have to order them if you want them. They're pretty morning glory. Then I'm going to cut on my line. Can you kind of see the concaveness of what your crown is going to look like? Once you have done that, you want to grab a paintbrush or a foam brush and paint it blue. If you have children that are painting this area blue, you want to paint with a tempera acrylic paint. This is a non-toxic and washable friendly paint. If you don't have paint and don't want to go there with paint, you could also just color it with a marker or colored pencils. It may take a little longer. You'll see a very similar look when you're done. The next step, once your base is blue, is to add a little bit of stars. Now, there's two ways to do this. I have a star foam brush, which I picked up at Michael's in a bundle. It was about $10 for the bundle, but you got different shapes, and you got enough of these different shapes for about 100 different people. So it was a good buy. Plus, it's easier for those that like it to be a little bit more perfect, but aren't really good at making things perfectly straight or symmetrical. If you don't have one of these and you want to do it a different way, you can make it out of construction paper, which I'll show you in a minute. If you're doing the star stencil foam brush, this is quite easy. All you need to do is make sure that all sides are completely covered. When doing this, I like to have a scrap piece of paper at the bottom of your plate, the other part of it that you didn't use. And what I'm going to do is stamp it. And then I'm going to take off a little bit of the extra paint. Once I've done that, I'll stamp it onto my and then you could always just fill in the areas that weren't perfect. Okay, So now that we have the front of our crown looking amazing, we're going to set this off to the side and let it dry for a little bit. If you want to know an easy way to create a perfect star, I'm going to show you one of my techniques that I like to use that makes things just a little bit simpler. I like to fold my paper in half, and then with a tool that marks, I like to draw one line up, then one line across, one line down, another line that is kind of straight with this line, and one line up. Once I've done that, I take my scissors and I cut on the outside of the initial lines so that none of my black will show. Then you open it up and you have a star. That's how I like to make my stars. Another way to make a star is something that I learned in elementary school when I was young. You make an almost A, like a V, upside down. Then you cross it over and cross it back and cross it forward. This is a little strange So once you get it to a point that you like, you take your scissors again and you cut around it. Since we had the paper folded, you get two stars. One was a template and one was a perfect star. And you could continue to make as many stars as you would like. And you could vary the sizes if you would like as well. Now, the most important thing is the actual spikes to the crown, kind of like a Statue of Liberty. Me and my folding ways, I love to fold paper in half because who wants to do twice the amount of work? I don't. And then we're going to fold it one more time so that it's a quarter sheet of paper. I'm going to draw a line like this, and then I'm going to go straight up with it. Once again, two perfect little triangles. If you need any extra, or if you just want to do a trace of the triangle you like, you can. Just remember, trace it and hold it down, and then cut it out. If you have some leftover paper from the stars, you could also cut out. Just use our tracing technique. Yeah. Once you have all your pieces, you just start to make a plan. What you're going to want to do once you get to this step is grab your handy dandy tape, and then we have our layout of what we want it to look like. We're going to kind of hold it like this so you can see one side and see the other. You're going to adjust it so that it looks like this, but hold it so it looks like this. Then with your tape, tape it in place. And you're going to continuously do it all the way around. You could trim any of the tape that might be showing. And or if you want a little extra security, use a little bit of glue and a glue or glue stick and put it right here and press down on it until it dries. Remember to let this part sit and dry. I would give it about an hour just to make sure that nothing falls out of place. Once it is dry, you could actually take your hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, just slightly make a little hole with your scissors, the pointy end of your scissors, just a tiny little one. Then grab a pencil and slightly push it through and turn. This should make a hole. Make 2 holes at each end. Then with your ribbon, cut something that's about the length of your arm. You could always give yourself a little bit extra if you want. I like to roll it out without cutting it twice over. Cut it on one end. Then you have a little loop on the other, and you just cut it, and they're perfectly the same size. Fold it in half again, then you're going to thread it through. You're going to have these 2 loops. You're going to put this end through this end, then pull. And repeat the process on the other side as well. And you should be ready to wear your patriotic hat for 4th of July.
I just want to thank everybody who came out to support our 4th of July Independence concert by the Mesquite Community Band. I'm working on getting a virtual presentation up on YouTube, so make sure you look out for that. Also, remember that we are starting our drive-in concert series, which will be in the front of the Mesquite Arts Center. This will allow you to stay in your car and enjoy the festivities. But for those who want to get out of their car, there will be limited seating around the cedar trees in front of the Arts Center. Well, until we see each other again, make sure you stay cool and stay safe.